Sometimes the best way to explore and truly get to know a place is by tuning out our everyday distractions and simplifying our experience. When your destination is a naturally beautiful place, what better way to really appreciate it than to go camping? In this video, we are exploring Big Sur for the first time, a weekend spent sleeping beneath the redwoods and trekking along the central California coast. Is Big Sur all it's cracked up to be, and is it suitable for camping? Stay tuned to find out what we did and how we'd rate our experience. Big Sur is located along the central coast of California, between Carmel and San Simeon. It has been left mostly untouched by man, making it one of the longest stretches of undeveloped coastline in the contiguous United States. The Santa Lucia mountain range dominates the area, rising high above from the Pacific. Water from these mountains flow freely into the ocean, creating a unique and picturesque landscape. The first Europeans to settle this area were the Spanish in 1769. They referred to it as El País Grande del Sur, or the Big Country of the South. It was during this time that the California missions were also being constructed, including nearby Carmel, upending the lives of the indigenous people who were already on this land when the Spanish arrived. By 1821, Mexico had won independence from Spain, obtaining Big Sur along with the rest of California. During Mexico's reign, only small portions of the region had been developed as part of the Mexican land grants. The United States seized California in 1846, and by 1862, the Homestead Act was passed, enabling intrepid pioneers such as Michael Pfeiffer and William Post to settle this rugged terrain, and for whom locations within the region are now named. Due to its natural and serene setting, it became a popular destination for artists and writers, including such notable names as author Henry Miller and photographer Ansel Adams. We visited over a weekend in early October, hoping much of the summer crowd had vacated along with the summer heat. Mom packed the van full of camping equipment we'd need for the weekend and drove a few hours from our hometown to pick me up from my college apartment. Neither of us had ever been to Big Sur, even though it's only an hour from where I currently live. Besides its proximity, we wanted to find out why Big Sur was on everyone's bucket list. What made this place so different from the rest of the California coast? After grabbing our lunch, we headed south on Highway 1, which was a windy and scenic drive. This route took us across the famous Bixby Bridge. This bridge may look familiar to you even if you've never been there. That's because it's been featured in several films and TV shows. Most recently though, the opening credits to the popular television series Big Little Lies. Because of its now famous profile, many people stop here for that perfect Instagram picture, which means finding a place to park along the narrow highway can be quite difficult and a bit precarious. We were lucky enough to get a parking spot as soon as we arrived to the location, even though there were many others seeking the same view. By the time we arrived at our campground, it was late afternoon, so we got busy getting things together before it was too dark. Big Sur has many camping options, both private and state-run, but because of Big Sur's popularity, finding a place to camp is quite challenging no matter what the time of the year. Private campgrounds can cost as much as 3 times the daily rate of the state-run campgrounds, but you will have better luck with availability. We stayed at the Lila Ventana Campground, a private, tent-only campground, which is also part of a larger resort, owned by the Hyatt hotel chain. It's located right off the highway near Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park, and is also dog-friendly. This campground also offers glamping sites and cabins for those who want a slightly more pampered experience. We thought this was a beautiful and relatively quiet campground. Our spot was right on a little creek that runs through the campground and was separated enough from other sites to feel more private. By the time we were done setting up camp, it was too late to adventure out. Dinner was an easy camp classic of dogs and beans. Afterward, we built a fire using wood we purchased when we entered the campground. October evenings can get quite chilly here, so the fire helped us to enjoy the outdoors well into the night, giving us a chance to catch up and enjoy another classic American camping favorite, s'mores. The dense tree coverage of the campground blocked out much of the morning light, making it extra hard to get up. but it was worth it to get an earlier start as the crowd started to hit the parks and the hiking trails by mid-morning. That morning, we headed to Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park to hike Buzzard's Roost Trail. It began with a flat, scenic walk along the river path. We crossed the river to another trail, requiring us to traverse these cement strips that laid all the way across. Buzzard's Roost Trail really doesn't start until after crossing under Highway 1, where the flat path quickly gives way to a steady incline. The hike is relatively strenuous, ascending 750 feet to the peak. Once at the top, we had a breathtaking 360-degree view of the surrounding mountains and the ocean below. This was one of the only places in Big Sur where we had cell reception. After soaking in the view, we took the northeasterly portion of the trail back down the mountain. We woke up early the next morning to pack our campsite and head to Partington Cove, about a 7.5-mile drive south of our campground near Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park. The trailhead starts along Highway 1, and you must park along the road. The hike down the hillside to the ocean is short but steep. The trail forks in 3 different directions at the bottom, each providing a beautiful and unique view of the cove. A highlight was walking through the wooden tunnel that opened up to a gorgeous cliff-top view of the swirling turquoise blue water in the cove below. There were quite a few other visitors on this hike too, but it was still very much enjoyable. Once back at the car, we took a moment to catch our breath and soak up the view for a few more minutes before heading back home. So, to answer the questions, is Big Sur all it's cracked up to be? And is it a good location for camping? Well, we hope our video spoke for itself, but yes, it definitely is. There's much to do and see here, a lot more than we had time for in a single weekend. But if you're still undecided if Big Sur is next on your list of destinations to explore, we've broken down its accessibility, affordability, and family friendliness to help you decide. We give Big Sur a 3 out of 5 stars for accessibility. The only road in and out of Big Sur is Highway 1, which is windy and can be precarious during wet weather, especially since the area is prone to landslides. While Big Sur offers a variety of hiking options, given the hilly and mountainous terrain, many hikes have some uphill portions. Big Sur is a popular destination, and for good reason, so it can be crowded, especially in summer months, which can make finding a campsite particularly challenging. Also, some campgrounds have walk-in campsites. With all that being said, Big Sur is only 2.5 hours from San Francisco, so very close to a major airport, and we found that the drive-in from Carmel is absolutely beautiful. Next, for family friendliness, we give Big Sur 4 out of 5 stars. Big Sur is a great vacation spot for families. We saw multiple families on our campground enjoying themselves. Here, children can learn about and appreciate the outdoors. Because of the lack of self-service, it's really a great opportunity for the whole family to just unplug and spend time with each other. For the parents of fur babies, there are some campgrounds and lodging that allow dogs, but many of the trails do not. So be sure to plan ahead of time before coming with your furry companion. Because of this and previously noted accessibility challenges, we knocked off just 1 star. Next, we'll be rating affordability for camping. We give this 3.5 out of 5 stars for affordability as a camping destination. You can camp in Big Sur relatively affordably, especially if you're able to get a spot at one of the state-run campgrounds, but of course, that can be a challenge. If you can only score a campsite at one of the private campgrounds or decide to go glamping instead, then expect to pay 3 or more times as much. As a destination, it's not far from major metropolitan areas, but gas can be quite expensive here. We paid about $2 per gallon more than we typically would elsewhere, so we recommend filling up before entering Big Sur. At the time of filming this, both the Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park and the Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park have a $10 day use fee each. However, if you're a pass holder for one of the several California state park programs, you'll likely be able to enter for no additional cost. Also, you may be able to qualify for a reduced price even if you're not a pass holder. So be sure to visit the California State Park website for up-to-date information on pricing and qualifying programs and passes. There's still a lot to see and do here without ever entering any of the parks. If you live or are staying nearby, Big Sur makes a great day trip. Big Sur is the perfect weekend destination, especially if you don't live too far away. But we felt like we barely scratched the surface of experiencing all of what Big Sur has to offer within that time. We both agree that there is something special about it. For more travel-related content, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell.